Hi YouTubers. We're going to, this is a film review of the X-Men Apocalypse. So we're going to make a review based solely on the film and not on the advertising and all of those in the magazines or other backstories. I'm just going to consider the previous movies that were shown, showing the X-Men, of course. So, our criteria for making this review is based on Aristotle's Poetics. And first off, I'm going to review the first criteria, I should say, is the plot. Well, plot of the story is quite a narrative, not of there's no going back in time sort of thing happened. So it's just a complete progression from a certain point in time to the future, to a certain point in time in the future. So it's not much of complications, just that there's a villain. And of course, the good guys have to battle the villain. And that's pretty much it. As to the second criteria, the character, well, focused in the first part on the villain. Builds up this character, Apocalypse. Well, he is a being that lived thousands of years ago, so it took in the past, and fast forward to the times for the movies, Time Element, which is 1983, taking place 10 years after the X-Men Days of Future Past. And of course, as to the X-Men characters, Magneto took most of the time, as he is now a peace-loving man with a wife and a daughter, and living far away country, and of all things, of course, in a steel factory, steel manufacturing company. So that's where he worked, and his character took a lot of development in this film, showing the basis, laying the predicate why he did in fact join Apocalypse and be the villain for the most part of this film. We go now to diction. And this is the cinematography, the images, of course. This is a big film, and it's quite glossy, and a lot of special effects. Cinematography is good. The action sequences, especially the action sequences, were good. So you can bet that this is a grade A film in that respect. The melody, as to the melody, music was excellent, of course. Production-wise, again, this is a big budget film, blockbuster, so a lot of good production sets. CGIs were, of course, bar none in this film. And then we also have the criteria on spoken thought, the script. Well, there's not too much memorable script we can infer here. There's none of that wisdom, sort of words we can infer. For the most part, it was Professor X. So it was making lines, but mostly they were more of the lines between him and Apocalypse. The script between him is it's not very yoga-like or Yoda-like, I should say. They're not very call this thought-provoking sort of stuff. So it's just the lines, that words that really just so to just cap the narrative. So it's not very doesn't strike your conscience or your deepest thoughts, or your soul for that matter. And lastly, we have the spectacle. Well, the wow factor in this film. Well, it is wow because it's X-Men, but we coming off from the X-Men Days of Future Past, so the expectation is quite high because the X-Men Days of Future Past is really a good movie with all that mind-bending sequences on the latter part of that film. We didn't get much of that in this film, X-Men Apocalypse, so it's quite a disappointment in that regard. Nonetheless, there's still the fight sequences are good, but you get the feeling that you kind of expect the villain to be defeated. You know, there's not much of a trouble. There's not much of a... You sort of expect that, get the feeling that they will be successful. So there's the Apocalypse character has awesome powers, but doesn't quite capture the imagination that he will be overpowering the X-Men. Not unlike the X-Men Days of Future Past, it really made you believe that the X-Men would be really defeated. You know, in this movie, X-Men Apocalypse, you had a feeling that he would be defeated by the heroes of this film. You just have to tap the correct buttons and you'll get the result, the desired results. That's it for this movie review. Hope you like it, and please subscribe. Hasta la vista.